At a time when the United States continues to report economic stability, corporate America is undergoing a transformation that many people don't see on the surface. In the past few years, some of the country's largest employers, Google, Amazon, Tesla, and others, have reduced staff across multiple rounds of restructuring. These changes reveal more than corporate adjustments. They highlight a major shift in how the U.S. economy is operating, what companies prioritize, and how the workforce must adapt. In this breakdown, viewers will learn why these layoffs are happening, how they fit into a broader economic transition, and what the future may look like for workers and industries across the country. Stay until the end and subscribe to Global Lens. So you never miss critical insight into the world's economic changes. Chapter 1. A job market in transition. The U.S. labor market remains sizable and active, but beneath that stability is a subtle rebalancing. Some companies continue to hire, especially in areas connected to technology, healthcare, and specialized trades. At the same time, others are scaling back after years of expansion. This combination creates a landscape where traditional indicators do not fully capture what many workers experience. Job openings remain widespread, yet many positions require advanced skills or specialized knowledge. Workers who previously found stable opportunities in administrative, support, or mid-level corporate roles now encounter more competition. Some employers are consolidating responsibilities or relocating operations. Others are shifting toward automation or reorganizing teams to improve efficiency. These changes do not create an immediate crisis, but they signal a gradual shift that many households feel in different ways. The result is a labor market that is neither weakening nor flourishing uniformly. Instead, it is reshaping itself, with companies emphasizing targeted growth rather than broad expansion. Chapter 2. Why corporate restructuring? Accelerated. Corporate restructuring has occurred for many reasons, but several long-term developments have played a consistent role. The first is the adjustment from earlier years of unusually rapid hiring. Many large corporations increased staff significantly during the early 2020s to meet elevated demand for digital services, home delivery, remote work systems, and online retail. As business patterns stabilized, these companies reevaluated the size and structure of their workforces. The second factor is operational efficiency. As corporations become larger and more complex, they regularly reorganize to streamline overlapping departments or improve coordination. These assessments occur even during periods of growth and are part of long-term planning rather than sudden reactions. A third factor is technological change. New software tools, automation systems, and artificial intelligence applications allow companies to manage tasks with fewer manual processes. These technologies do not eliminate entire industries, but they do influence how teams are structured and which roles are prioritized. None of these developments indicate a collapse. Instead, they represent gradual adjustments as industries mature and as companies adapt to new realities. Chapter 3. Amazon. A shift from expansion to optimization. Amazon's influence on the U.S. economy is enormous. The company operates fulfillment centers, logistics hubs, data centers, and offices across numerous states. After expanding rapidly during periods of heightened demand, Amazon began scaling back certain operations and reorganizing internal divisions. The company reviewed staffing across e-commerce, cloud computing, advertising, and various consumer product teams. Some roles were merged, others shifted, and some were eliminated. These decisions were part of a broader effort to align resources with long-term strategic goals, rather than short-term surges in activity. Amazon continues to invest in many areas, particularly artificial intelligence and advanced logistics. The company's cloud division remains a major player in global technology infrastructure, and its delivery network continues to grow in sophistication. But Amazon is also focused on efficiency. Facilities now increasingly use automated systems, and certain product lines are redesigned or consolidated. The important takeaway is not that Amazon is shrinking. Rather, it is transitioning from a period defined by rapid hiring to one shaped by precision and long-term planning. Chapter 4. Google. Realigning for a new era of technology. Google, one of the most influential companies in the world, began restructuring earlier than many of its peers. After years of hiring to support large-scale research, cloud computing expansion, and platform development, the company reviewed its organizational structure starting in 2023. Smaller adjustments continued into 2024 and 2025. Google's core businesses remain central to its strategy. At the same time, the company has placed growing emphasis on artificial intelligence, integrating new capabilities across its products. This shift has led to realignments inside engineering, research, and support teams. Projects that once received broad investment have been streamlined. Experimental initiatives were consolidated, and some teams were combined to improve focus. These changes do not reflect declining relevance. Instead, they reflect a company preparing for a future in which AI-driven services play a far larger role in how information is generated, organized, and accessed. Google's restructuring also has broad implications for local economies. Regions with high concentrations of tech workers often feel the impact when major employers recalibrate hiring. But even as teams change in size, the company continues to influence innovation, education, and digital infrastructure worldwide. Chapter 5. Tesla. Adjusting to a more competitive EV landscape. Tesla reshaped the global automobile industry and accelerated the adoption of electric vehicles. For several years, the company expanded quickly across manufacturing, engineering, and energy products. As global demand diversified and competition increased, Tesla began revisiting its workforce structure. In 2024, the company reduced its global workforce by more than a tenth. This adjustment aligned with a broader reassessment of manufacturing processes, long-term product development, and organizational efficiency. While electric vehicles remain an important part of global transportation, automakers worldwide are navigating varying economic conditions, changes in consumer financing, and evolving regulatory environments. Tesla continues to innovate. The company invests in battery technology, autonomous driving systems, and large-scale energy storage. But like many major manufacturers, it is also seeking to balance innovation with disciplined operations. Tesla's workforce adjustments reflect the company's long-term strategic shift rather than a departure from its foundational mission. Chapter 6. The broader tech adjustment. The adjustments seen at Amazon, Google, and Tesla are part of a wider shift across the technology sector. Companies specializing in digital platforms, software, hardware, and semiconductor production have all undergone changes to align their staffing with evolving priorities. Some companies consolidated projects that overlapped in purpose. Others refined their corporate structures to focus on the most promising technologies. Several organizations introduced greater automation in product testing, data processing, or technical support. These changes are typical when industries mature and when technological advancements redefine what work is necessary. This recalibration does not diminish the role of technology in the U.S. economy. It remains one of the most important growth engines, with companies continuing to invest in research, infrastructure, cloud computing, cybersecurity, and advanced manufacturing. The shift simply indicates a transition from wide-reaching expansion toward targeted, sustainable growth. Chapter 7. Retail and Logistics. Reinvent themselves. Beyond the technology sector, retail and logistics companies have also reorganized in recent years. Large retailers review their operational models regularly, adjusting staffing in corporate offices, distribution centers, and customer support teams. Some roles evolve as stores adopt new technologies or as supply chains become more automated. Logistics companies, responsible for shipping, warehousing, and freight operations, face similar transitions. They adjust staffing depending on seasonal demand, global trade conditions, and new automation tools introduced inside distribution networks. These adjustments are part of industries that operate on narrow margins and rely heavily on efficiency. These shifts influence local economies. Communities near distribution centers may experience changes in hiring patterns. Small businesses near corporate offices notice shifts in foot traffic. But retail and logistics remain essential parts of the U.S. economic ecosystem, and companies continue to invest in long-term infrastructure. Chapter 8. Households navigate a changing landscape. Even when the national economy remains stable, individuals can experience economic transitions differently. Some workers face evolving expectations for technical skills. Others encounter changes in the availability of certain types of roles. Households make financial decisions based on factors such as interest rates, housing, availability, and long-term job security. These conditions shape spending behavior. Some families prioritize saving, while others postpone major purchases. Businesses then adjust their forecasts based on shifts in consumer habits. This creates a cycle in which households and corporations influence each other's decisions, even when broad economic indicators appear healthy. The Great Layoff reflects these dynamics. Corporate restructuring affects how households perceive their financial future, and household decisions influence how companies plan their next moves. Chapter 9. Innovation continues behind the scenes. Despite widespread restructuring, innovation in the United States remains strong. Corporations continue to invest in biotechnology, renewable energy, automation, clean manufacturing, and next-generation software. Startups explore new applications for artificial intelligence. Universities partner with companies to develop new research fields. This environment indicates that the U.S. economy is not withdrawing from innovation. Instead, it is refining how resources are allocated. Companies prioritize projects with clear paths to long-term value. Research teams focus more sharply on areas with strategic importance. Even as organizations become leaner, new ideas continue to take shape. Periods of restructuring often precede periods of renewed growth. When companies reduce duplication and streamline operations, they position themselves to invest more effectively in new opportunities. Chapter 10. Workers prepare for a new era. As companies adjust to new technologies, workers are preparing for changes in career pathways. Some roles will evolve, requiring new digital skills or familiarity with advanced tools. Other roles may become more specialized, especially in technical fields, such as data analysis, cybersecurity, AI operations, and engineering. At the same time, many industries that do not rely heavily on automation continue to need human labor. Healthcare, skilled trades, transportation, education, and service sectors remain central to the country's workforce. These roles benefit from qualities that technology cannot replace: human judgment, communication, physical precision, and relationship building. The future will reward workers who combine adaptability with continuous learning. Whether in technical fields or community-based roles, the ability to adjust to new tools or methods will be increasingly valuable. Chapter 11. What this means for America's economic future. The restructuring seen at Google, Amazon, Tesla, and other corporations is not a sign of decline. It reflects a period of readjustment after years of rapid expansion. Companies are aligning themselves with long-term priorities, new technologies, and changing expectations from consumers, businesses, and global markets. The U.S. economy remains diverse and resilient. It contains industries that expand even as others consolidate. It encourages innovation while maintaining a broad labor market. These attributes have allowed the country to navigate numerous transitions throughout its history. The Great Layoff is part of that ongoing evolution. It marks the end of one chapter and the beginning of another, where efficiency, technology, and long-term sustainability guide corporate decisions. Chapter 12. How corporate strategy is evolving. Another important part of the Great Layoff is how large corporations are reframing their internal strategies. Across multiple industries, companies are focusing more heavily on long-term sustainability rather than short-term expansion. This change is visible in how organizations plan product development cycles, manage investment budgets, and evaluate new technologies. Boards and executives increasingly prioritize projects that demonstrate clear operational value. Teams are encouraged to collaborate across departments rather than operate in isolated silos. Companies are improving internal communication processes, refining workflows, and redesigning core structures to better support decision-making. These efforts reduce duplication and create smoother operations. This shift also influences how companies decide where to allocate engineering, research, and technical talent. Instead of dispersing employees across a wide array of experimental initiatives, organizations concentrate resources on strategic areas such as automation, efficiency tools, digital platforms, and next-generation software. These decisions help companies remain competitive while maintaining stable long-term operations. In many ways, the Great Layoff is not about reducing ambition, but about redefining it. Corporations are preparing for a world in which productivity, adaptability, and advanced technologies form the foundation of global competition. Chapter 13. Regional economies adjust at different speeds. The impact of corporate restructuring varies significantly across regions in the United States. Cities with strong technology sectors see noticeable changes when major employers reorganize. Housing markets may adjust, local services may experience new patterns of activity, and job seekers may pursue new opportunities within related industries. In contrast, regions anchored by manufacturing, logistics, or agriculture encounter different dynamics. These areas often rely on a mix of traditional roles and specialized technical positions. When large companies refine operations or introduce advanced systems, local economies adjust by shifting their workforce toward more skill-oriented tasks. This creates new opportunities for training programs, apprenticeships, and partnerships between educational institutions and employers. Smaller cities and towns respond differently as well. In some cases, diversification helps cushion the impact of corporate adjustments. In others, the effects are more noticeable because major employers play a central role in daily economic life. Regions with strong collaboration between companies, local governments, and educational providers often experience smoother transitions, while those with fewer resources may need more time to adapt. These differences show that the Great Layoff is not a uniform national event, but a collection of local transitions occurring at different speeds. Chapter 14. The Path Toward Stability. Times of transition can feel uncertain, but they often pave the way for renewed stability. Companies that restructure thoughtfully position themselves to remain competitive for years to come. Workers who adapt to changing demands gain skills that are valuable across industries. Communities that invest in workforce development build stronger foundations for long-term growth. The United States has experienced many economic transitions throughout its history. Each one created challenges, but each one also opened the door to new industries, new opportunities, and new forms of innovation. Today's restructuring follows the same pattern. Technology continues to evolve. Companies continue to refine their strategies, and workers continue to build capabilities that support future progress. The Great Layoff represents a moment in which the economy is adjusting to new realities. While the process is complex, it reflects an environment that is flexible, dynamic, and capable of renewal. The coming years will reveal how companies, workers, and regions use this period of change to create a more resilient and forward-looking economy. The shifts across Google, Amazon, Tesla, and other major companies reflect a broader transformation in the U.S. economy. These changes are not signs of collapse, but indicators of a new phase shaped by technology, efficiency, and long-term strategy. Understanding this transition helps workers, investors, and households prepare for the opportunities ahead. If this breakdown provided clarity, subscribe to Global Lens for more insight into the forces reshaping the world's future.